So, let's talk about something huge happening right now in the world of product design. We're getting a look into the future from someone who's right there on the front lines, Jenny Wen, the head of design for Claude at Anthropic. And she's basically saying that the very foundation of how designers have worked for decades, yeah, that's crumbling.
Wow. Okay, let's just start with that. That is a provocative statement. And you've got to understand, this isn't just some theory she has. She's seeing this happen in real time, at the absolute bleeding edge of AI. She's telling us that the rulebook, the one we all learned from, it's obsolete. So what killed it?
Right, so to really get where we're headed, you first have to understand what we're leaving behind. For years and years, the design world ran on a very specific and what everybody thought was a very stable process.
This was it. This was the playbook, a rigid, step-by-step march from an idea all the way to a finished product. It was methodical, it was predictable, and it was all built around this core idea that designers would go away, perfect a vision, and then hand off these beautiful, pixel-perfect mock-ups for engineers to go build. Everybody just trusted the process.
Okay, so if this process was so fundamental, so baked into how we do things, what in the world could be powerful enough to make it obsolete, seemingly overnight? The answer is speed. But look, we're not just talking about things getting a little bit faster. This is a total change in the velocity of how things get made. Engineering teams, now armed with AI coding assistants, are building and shipping stuff at a pace that was literally science fiction just a couple of years ago. The old, slow, methodical design process, it just can't keep up. It's not even close.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? It shows you the sheer scale of what's happening. This isn't just designers trying to keep up with engineers anymore. The pace is so fast that even the engineers are looking around going, whoa, how do we keep up with what we can now do? It forces everyone to completely rethink how they work together.
So this new reality, this breakneck speed, it demands a fundamental shift in the designer's role. If the old job of being a gatekeeper is gone, what takes its place? Well, the answer is a move from being a gatekeeper to being a guide.
The whole mindset has to flip. The old job was, in a way, to be a bottleneck. A good bottleneck, but still, your job was to stop things, perfect the vision, and only then let it proceed. The new job is to be a force multiplier. It's about jumping into that fast-moving river of creation and helping steer it, making sure all the stuff being built so quickly actually comes together in a way that makes sense.
Let's look at what this means for a designer's actual day. Not that long ago, as you can see here, the huge majority of a designer's time, we're talking like 65%, was spent in Figma, just making perfect mock-ups. That was the job.
Now look at this. This is what's so fascinating. The reallocation is dramatic. Mocking time is nearly cut in half. And where did that time go? It shifted directly into hands-on collaboration with engineers and, this is the really new part, implementation and polish, actually getting in there and helping to ship the final product.
And this quote from Jenny just captures the new philosophy perfectly. The engineers are cooking, they're building, they're iterating live. A designer's job isn't to stop them and tell them the recipe is wrong. It's to be in the kitchen with them, helping them refine it as it's being made.
Okay, so all of this leads to a super important question. What kind of designer actually succeeds in this new, crazy fast world? Because the skills that we used to value in that old, slow process aren't necessarily the ones that matter most now.
This is the question. If you're a designer today or you're hiring designers, you have to be asking this. Who are the people that are actually built for this future?
Well, Jenny identifies 3 types of people who are incredibly valuable right now. First, you have the strong generalist. This is someone who's genuinely good at a few different things: product thinking, visual design, maybe even a little engineering. Then there's the deep specialist, someone who is an absolute top-tier expert in one very specific, high-demand skill. And third, and this one might surprise you, is the craft new grad. Someone who's humble, learns incredibly fast, and doesn't have the baggage of all the old ways of doing things.
So you might be wondering, if AI is getting better and better at doing the making part, what's left for us humans? The answer, for now at least, really comes down to one thing: human judgment. There are some critical, high-level things that we still do best.
I mean, think about it. AI can generate 1,000 options, but it can't be held accountable for the final choice. It can't navigate a messy, emotional disagreement between teammates. It can't make that final call and say, okay, this is what we're shipping. That requires conviction and responsibility, things that are, for now, uniquely human.
And that really is the bottom line, isn't it? Building great products isn't just about writing code, It's about making thousands of little judgment calls. And ultimately, a person has to own those calls. A human has to be accountable for the final result.
So what you're seeing is the designer's value shifting up the stack. It's an evolution away from being the hands that make the pixels, which, let's be honest, AI is getting really good at, and moving toward the critical, strategic role of being the brain that provides curation, guidance, and makes the really tough decisions.
And that leaves us with one last, pretty challenging thought. Right now, we're saying that judgment and taste are our human strongholds. But AI is getting better at those things every single day. So as we all try to navigate this new frontier, the most important question might just be, what happens next?